Now, 24 Jamaican military and police officers are due to arrive in Haiti today. It's part of the 200 personnel Kingston has pledged the country. The deployment is part of the international security mission aimed at restoring order in one of the world's poorest states overrun by gangs. Kenya is the only country so far to have deployed police to Haiti. 400 officers are in the country out of a pledge of 1,000. Camille Knight has a story.
6 months after pledging support to the Kenyan-led mission in Haiti, Jamaica is sending a first wave of troops. The Jamaican president announced that only 24 military and police personnel would land in Haiti on Thursday and lay the groundwork for further deployments.
Haiti is the example of what could happen if states do not take the problem seriously and put in place the measures and resources necessary to bring the problem under control.
In March, Jamaica formally pledged 200 personnel for the UN-backed mission, but the deployment has faced setbacks. It's led by Kenya, which so far has sent 400 police officers out of a total pledge of 1,000. Working with Haitian police, the Kenyan officers are working towards taking back key sites that have fallen under the control of gangs, including the airport and seaports. But almost 3 months into the mission, the security situation has little improved. Gangs are in control of 80% of the capital, with violence having spread to other areas across the country. The UN says more than 3,000 people have been killed from January to May, and the crisis has left more than 500,000 people homeless. Part of the problem is funding. The international mission is expected to cost around $600 million per year, but only $85 million have been pledged by countries so far. On a visit to Haiti last week, Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged other countries to provide more financial support and called for transitional authorities to move quickly towards democratic elections.
We can now bring in Diego Da Rin, Haiti specialist at the International Crisis Group. Thank you very much for joining us here on France 24 today. Just how effective are these 24 Jamaican police officers going to be? I mean, I know that this is the first deployment, but in the grand scheme of things?
Well, it is sure that 24 security personnel are not going to make such a difference, but the fact here is that the deployment of other countries besides Kenya are starting. So this was devised as a multinational mission with Kenya leading the force, but with other countries and, very importantly, neighboring countries from the Caribbean to joining to this effort. So these 24 officers are going to, as the Prime Minister, the Jamaican Prime Minister said, lay the command structure and prepare all practical issues, as, for example, that there is enough and appropriate facilities to host the personnel that Jamaica and other Caribbean countries will deploy in Haiti.
Kenya has 400 officers in Haiti out of a pledge of 1,000. Do we know how that mission has gone so far?
Well, the first contingent of Kenyan officers arrived about 2.5 months ago. Another contingent arrived in July, but so far these about 400 Kenyan officers are not enough to really launch forceful and ambitious operations, offensive operations against the gangs. The mission still has very limited capacity to implement its mandate, which is to help the Haitian police to restore order in the capital, not only to protect key infrastructure, but to really go after the gangs, to engage in offensive operations in their strongholds, to effectively diminish the power that they have.
From what we understand, Port-au-Prince has been pretty much largely under control of the gangs. Is that still the case today, that the situation in the capital is that bad?
Yes, for years, and by the way, since the past peacekeeping operation, the UN peacekeeping operation withdrew its personnel in 2017, the gangs have been expanding their foothold not only in the capital, but in other regions. And now the gangs, and this is according to United Nations figures, control or have some influence in about 80% of the capital. And this is mainly in the areas where the most critical infrastructure is located and where the economic activities in the capital are concentrated.
I know that we had Kenya that has deployed officers. Now, of course, Jamaica is deploying officers to Haiti. But these are officers who don't speak French. So how do you work alongside Haitian police to restore order when, communication at one point will be a problem?
Well, of course, this is one question that pops up every time that there is a security mission with officers or security personnel coming from many countries to a country where sometimes they do not speak the language. Kenyan officers have been undergoing training in languages, mostly in French, to be able to at least have the most basic communication with its counterparts in Port-au-Prince.
Is there a timeline in place for this mission? Do we know how long these security personnel have to assist state police, Kenyan state police, to restore order?
The mission was authorized last October, so almost a year ago, by the Security Council, and the Security Council gave it a mandate of 1 year. Now, there is right now in New York, at the Security Council level, the discussions will begin very soon on the renewal of this mission that is not open-ended, but it is intended to be a short-term mission to help the Haitian police regain the upper hand and to help the Haitian authorities to organize elections next year.
Diego Da Rin, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.